Tuesday, November 25th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host, Jason Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a little bit, Jacob Gramegna. And we got a stacked show for you today. Wearing the amateur hour sports hat. You know what that means. We're talking ball today. We're talking ball today. Don't hit your head like that. You're a smart guy. Can't lose those brains. Like, I personally can't afford to hit my head like that. Maybe you can. But anyways, got a great show for you today. Let's bring up the lineup. Leading things off, as he does every single Tuesday, Drew Dinsick's going to come on, talk some NFL futures, talk Week 13, talk some NBA futures as well, some awards markets in the NBA. A lot of division shuffle going on. I wanted to talk to him about the Seahawks last week. Didn't have time, but this week we will touch on our Seahawks. When I say our, I mean mine. I don't know how big Drew is on the Seahawks right now, but yeah, going to touch on the Seahawks. Up next, after him, got Corbie, who's usually on the Monday show, got bumped. He was busy yesterday, so he's going to come on, talk the Tuesday show. We're going to be talking college football rivalry week, just some early looks, talk Iron Bowl, Egg Bowl, all the bowls, all the rivalry weeks, week games. It should be a fun one. And then Kirk's going to come on, close out the show, discuss some of the games tonight. He has a couple prop bets for us, or at least he says he does. He hasn't sent them to me yet, but he says I have some prop bets. And I said, what are they? He said, no response. I think he has me on Do Not Disturb. Anyways, got a great show for you today. Reminder, smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. If you have any questions for either guest who's going to come on, they're pretty smart guys. You can do so. Drop them in the chat. If you're new to the channel as well, hit the subscribe button. Before we get into things, before we bring up Drew, just want to remind you guys about our little friends over at BetStamp. With football, basketball, and hockey in full swing now is the time to lock in the BetStamp Pro prop screen. Pro is built for high-level bettors who need to spot and scale up edges fast between NFL Sundays, college football Saturdays, and daily NBA action. Prop markets are more liquid and prices are sharper than ever. So the window to exploit inefficient numbers is right now. You can't do that without a hyper-efficient, reliable, true line that shows you the real market price in seconds across 150-plus outs. That will help you find, and hit scalable edges. Don't wait. The opportunity to capitalize on the prop market is right now. Visit betstamp.com/hammer or scan the QR code to apply for a demo. Spots are limited during the season. Going to bring up Drew in just a second, but I have a question for the audience. Jacob, I have a question for you. Has gotcha culture gone too far? Have we officially jumped the shark here? For those who don't know, for those who didn't tune in to Circle Back yesterday, first of all, what are you doing? If you watch this show and you didn't immediately jump onto Circle Back right after, you're missing out.
Yeah,
because that's what I do. But you guys did it to him. You, Jeff, Kirk. You got Rob pretty good. Now,
orchestrated by Jeff, but yes.
Jeff was even asking me before, what do you hate most about the NFL in preparation to create notes, to discuss this topic with Rob. But for those who didn't see, Rob got caught. He said he sent out a tweet this past week talking about how he hates when people say the NFL is unwatchable, and
then watch every week.
Yeah, but then we did some digging. 2015, 2017, 2018, 2019. There's a couple tweets out there were from the Rob Pizzola account that said the NFL is unwatchable. So my question is, has gotcha culture gone too far? These are almost 10 years ago. And he did different person now. Do we think that maybe we went a little too far? Rico Bosco over on Barstool is a big proponent of gotcha culture going too far. What do you think?
No. Sir, maybe some instances. This is not an example of it. Rob got. Simple as that. He complained about people saying it's unwatchable, watching every week, and he's done the same in the past. Maybe he's grown as a person, but still funny to get him like that. So it was a freezing cold take for sure.
Yeah, definitely a freezing cold take. The network took a big hit because Brad Powers also had a freezing cold take.
Yeah, he was literally on freezing cold takes. I don't think for the first time.
Yeah, it was about, I think it was how bad Notre Dame was this year after they just looked horrible. And then that was literally their inflection point of the season. So we all have those days.
If you cover sports, you put your take out there, you give your thoughts, you're going to have some bad takes. They're not all going to be winners.
Yeah, Huckleberry fan in the chat is saying the moment you guys pulled up those tweets and you had the three of them side by side, Kirk and Jeff were just smiling at you, and Rob was just jaw on the floor.
Jeff was edging me. I was waiting for Jeff to cue me to pull up the tweets, and he kept not doing it. He kept on kind of agreeing with Rob. I'm like, thinking to myself, like, is he like backing out of the segment? And then eventually I just brought them up. It was supposed to be, he was supposed to start talking about it, then I'd bring up the tweets, but then I had to just introduce it. So.
I was on the edge of my seat listening, not because I knew it was going to happen beforehand.
So was
like,
I.
When is Jeff going to do this?
Gonna do it? But I eventually just went, okay, I'll do it.
All right, that was good stuff. Anyways, has culture gone too far? Curious what your opinion is in the chat. I think you're right. I think it hasn't gone too far just yet. Unless it's about me, then yes, of course. Then we've jumped the shark, gone way too far. Let's bring on Drew Dinsick right now. He's an NFL, NBA, tennis handicapper, betting analyst over at NBC Sports, but he's also the co-host of the Deep Dive podcast. Drew, how's it going?
Oh, doing pretty well. Hopefully you and your listeners getting to relax a little bit this week. I know you're in Canada and Thanksgiving is a mile in your rearview mirror, but it does feel like sort of North America at least kind of cools off. Everybody takes a deep breath this week.
Speak for yourself, man.
I love it.
We're swamped this week.
Yeah, it's a little busy for us, but at least I get I took the Thursday off. I like to take it off every single year because to me, American Thanksgiving is my Thanksgiving. I get to spend time with my friends who love football. They're my second family. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I saw a really good tweet this past week where it's like 3-day week and it was just a picture of the QB Neal play call. I was like, that's what it feels like to live in the States. Eh?
That's good. That's good.
So hopefully you're gonna have a fun. Are you doing any traveling for Thanksgiving? Like on Wednesday? I know it's a busy night.
Yeah, taking the boat over to Catalina from Long Beach. It's a short 45-minute drive, but Catalina is like literally getting away to Europe. It's a totally different vibe over there, and good hiking, good diving. Do some do some relaxing, taking over a suitcase full of wine. So I got my plan set.
Sounds like a great time. Well, I'll let you get to that shortly. Before I let you get to that, let's get into some NBA awards. Let's start with NFL NFL division stuff first. And I want to lead with the Seahawks and the NFC West because I talked about this last week with you in text. Unfortunately, we weren't able to touch on it on the air because we went a little bit long. And you said like, am I crazy for still loving the Seahawks here, even though they lost to this Rams team? And you said, buy when there's blood in the streets. And I loved hearing that. I loved hearing that. If we flip over to the NFC West right now, take a look at their division odds. Rams right now minus 320, Seahawks plus 410, Niners 11-1. Now it might be a little tough here for the Seahawks to win the division. They're going to need the Rams to lose 2 games because of the tie-breaking scenarios. But I just still love Seattle's futures outside of winning the division, outside of coming first in the conference, like looking ahead to the Super Bowl, maybe looking ahead to the NFC winner. Talk me through why you wanted to start with this division.
Well, I think it's mostly just like we're at the time of the season where people are losing a little bit of perspective on how many games remain, really. And there's a lot of anointing the Rams as just kind of the best team in football right now when we have a lot more to get to the finish line here. And the Rams are still a fragile team. Stafford is still an injury risk. Puka Nacua is still an injury risk. It's a young defense. They lost an important piece on the defense quietly last week. This is a bit of a time to bet against the Rams, in my opinion. It's a difficult division, obviously, and that you have kind of two other real contenders. I say real, not even tongue in cheek about the Niners. Like, I don't think the Niners are good. I don't think Brock Purdy is playing especially well, but it kind of doesn't matter. They've banked 3 wins in division already. Like they're absolutely in the mix to ultimately ship and kind of hold the tiebreak over the Rams. They could certainly steal this out from under the Rams, and then absolutely the Seahawks, who right now grade to me as the top defense in the NFL, and it's not especially close. Like, they are just flat out good. The Darnold, Jackson Smith, and Jigba connection is elite. They've done a nice job, I think, of kind of complementing, their wide receiver one with a couple of other weapons who can do some damage. And in general, I think their schedule to me affords opportunity to continue to win. Minnesota this week, They are 10.5-point favorites. My number says that should be closer to 14. So I think in general, you're going to get a pretty comfortable win against the great Max Brosner this week at home. And then you draw Atlanta, who you have a huge advantage over before facing Indianapolis and LA. And the Indy-LA stretch for the Seahawks is going to determine whether or not they ultimately are decided the NFC West in Week 18. But I think it's absolutely in play with the way that the schedules break. And I think the way to take advantage of this is, if you bought low on Seattle, congratulations. I think you got in at a good time and a good price. But I was kind of cruising some of the division specials that are floating around there right now, where you've picked the exact finish of certain teams, and it is not hard to play out the rest of the season. And if you want to do this for yourself, you don't even need any kind of advanced supercomputer. Just go to the NFL playoff machine on ESPN. It is not hard to force the Rams into the third place slot in the NFC West. Right now, that pays 10-1. I think there is more like fair prices, in my opinion, at least more like 450, 500. And I'm saying this as a person who power rates the Rams as the best team in football. So I think there's absolutely scope here for not even just injury drawing them down into that third slot, but just the way that the rest of their schedule breaks, and the fact that they already have a head-to-head loss against the Niners, the fact that they do have a head-to-head coming up in Seattle Week 16 after they played Detroit Week 15. This Rams team could certainly find their way into that third place position.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's a great look because, I don't know, I should probably pay more attention to records throughout the year, but it's kind of, as the season goes on, I kind of put that stuff on the back burner. But I can't believe that the Niners are 8-4. Like, what? That really that one really snuck up on me. I was like, wait, what? I don't really look at the standings often, unless I'm really passionate about a futures bet or something along those lines. Also, you talk about the Rams here, they do have a relatively easy schedule, but I see that Lions game. I know they're at home, but that is probably under a field goal game right there, assuming everyone stays healthy for the Lions. And that could be a game that the Rams lose, and then if they lose to the Seahawks as well, those are your two losses that you need for the Seahawks or the Cardinals to kind of overstep them. If you're favoring the Seahawks over the Niners or the Niners over the Seahawks in terms of 1, 2, 3 in the division, and you want that Rams third, you can get 20-1 at FanDuel on Seahawks, San Fran, Rams, or San Fran, Seahawks, Rams is 40-1 as well. So
I love it.
Yeah, those are good. Some good prices out there if you want.
I'm kind of dreaming. I'm wish casting a little here.
Yeah, of course.
I want week 8. I want week 18 Niners Seahawks for the division.
Oh, that would be a fun one.
In prime time. Give us Sam Darnold in prime time with a chance to set the record straight.
If that
redemption,
if that's for the division, that could also be for MVP. In all seriousness, 50-1 right now. I'm I don't know how many times I'm going to mention it, but yeah.
Yeah, far from decided.
Yeah. All right. Because I just think, again, like you mentioned, the prices on the Rams are a little crazy, including Stafford -220 to win MVP. Still a lot of game left. All right, let's flip over. You want to also touch on the NFC North, which the team leading at the top, the one team I do pay attention to in terms of the record, the Chicago Bears. They're third right now in terms of odds to win the division. Packers are first at +130, Lions +170. Another division that's shaping up for some pure chaos down the stretch, which we love to see. What are your opinions on this division?
Yeah, same kind of thoughts as the Rams. There's scope for this Lions team to finish third. It's not that hard. And I'm a little less excited because one is price, but even more than price, the Bears schedule between now and the close is a nightmare. Obviously, I like them this week. I played the 7. I think there's about 4 or 5 is kind of the right ballpark for that line, not a touchdown. I'm not a believer whatsoever in Philadelphia. Market has them as a +4, +5, depending on where you look. I'm more like a +2.5, +3. I do not love that offense, and I think the defensive injuries are being a little bit slept on this week. And so, yeah, Chicago could steal another one, and people keep shaking their head and be like, how is this team 9-3? They stink. Market currently, according to Unpredictable, -1.5 generic points favored. That's insane to me. The Bears are a top 10 offense. They deserve a plus rating. Offense dictates how you ought to be rated more than defense in many, many ways. This isn't even really a sophisticated take. And I think Ben Johnson is coordinating his butt off. His running, his scheme for getting DeAndre Swift going and really just having a nice balanced running attack has really made life easier on Caleb Williams. They have a healthy set of weapons in the passing game that can do damage. You're counting on the Bears being able to score 30 any given week, like they did last week against Pittsburgh, to get a win. But why not? Like that. This is I'm not going to just look at the weaknesses on defense and assume that that's going to completely unwind these guys as they go through this gauntlet of a schedule between now and the close. So Chicago, I think, can continue to stay in the mix. They get 2 games against Green Bay. Obviously, the first one is in Green Bay, which is not great. So I think there's definitely scope for the Bears to slip in this division. So betting the Bears to win the NFC North right now, I don't think is wise bet. But I do think that of the teams that I'm, that have a realistic chance here, Green Bay, Chicago, and Detroit. Detroit to me looks likely to finish third. I'm projecting them to have 10.1 wins this year. I rate them. Like, I think that Detroit's a good team. Like, they have obviously, one of the most dynamic skill position players in football in Jahmyr Gibbs, but this defense is absolutely lacking, particularly in the secondary, and they're about to go through a murderer's row of really good quarterbacks. So good luck to Detroit. If you didn't already know, they had Green Bay, Dallas, LA, 1, 2, 3, the next 3 games. If we wake up, and I know that this goes exactly contrary to what we were saying about LA potentially taking a loss, but if we wake up in December 10th and Detroit is 7-7, like, I'm not going to be remotely surprised. Detroit to finish third right now in the NFC North is 3-1, and I think that is worth the play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also, it's funny because both of these games or both these divisions we're talking about here kind of hinge on that Rams and Lions game there. So we're hedging ourselves. So we should be in a good spot no matter what, maybe, or we have like a horrible.
Someone has to lose that game.
Yeah, someone has to lose, unless they tie, and then we're just absolutely
yes.
I don't know how that will, if that's beneficial, better, or worse. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a little deeper look at that, but yeah, I'm a big fan of that look here. Just like this division is gonna be so much fun with down the stretch with the Packers. They have 4 division games in the last 6 weeks here, so should be fun. And I think you heard me in the background here. I'm luckily still in Survivor in the
nice.
big one, but and I'm a big Caleb Williams fan, and I don't have the Eagles, so got to assume a lot of people will probably be on the Eagles this week. And seeing if Caleb can knock off that big, oh my God, would that not feel great for me?
Bears defense getting healthier.
We're a big fan of this. All right, let's close out the division talk. Last one you wanted to talk about here was the NFC West. Or no, we talked about the NFC West. Sorry, you want to talk about I missed this one. AFC South. There we go. AFC South here. So Colts, Jaguars, Texans. Jaguars kind of sneaking up a little bit on the Colts here. Colts minus 220. Daniel Jones has looked I don't want to say like old Daniel Jones, but it seems like the way that the Chiefs won the game last week was kind of letting Daniel Jones cook and forcing Daniel Jones to beat them, and he wasn't able to do that. So what do you like in this division here?
Yes, I swear this is not a bit, but Colts to finish third.
It's a great bit.
It's 6-1. I don't like. I mean, I'm not in love with Jacksonville, but their schedule is a heck of a lot easier than Indy's coming in down the home stretch. We talked just a second ago about how difficult Chicago has it on the way in. No space here for Indianapolis. They get 2 games against Houston, 2 games against Jacksonville. I don't even think you're counting on 0-4 for the Colts to slide into third in division. They can just lose 2 of those games or 3 of those games, and I think you're right there. In general, I like the way Houston matches up against Indy. I bet Houston this week with C.J. Stroud expected to come back, and that defense for the Houston Texans potentially giving Daniel Jones all that he can handle. I just in general like that the way Houston's defense matches up against the skill position players, which are sort of the secret weapon for Indy right now. So plenty of scope in my opinion with the injuries that Indy sustained in that Chiefs game, and really just like I'm not, if beyond, if we want to go beyond quantitative, and quantitatively, I rate Indy. I think they're clearly like a +3 or better type of team. But there's certainly scope for Daniel Jones to continue to come back to his kind of long-term, fair performance metrics like EPA per play, which would be regression from where he is right now. And there's certainly scope for their defense to get worse with some of their key players getting beat up here down the stretch. The qualitative part of it is watching that Chiefs game, like 20-9. You have a very healthy, you're off your bye. You have a healthy lead against, an opponent who, you've given your best shot to that point in the game. That was pretty lifeless, I thought, down the stretch from them. And I know that, ultimately, like, they came up with a turnover that really, almost helped seal that thing for them. But was not impressed with the coaching calls by Shane Steichen in that game. His specific degree of conservatism did not really meet the moment in any way, which I think is a bad sign for them, ultimately hanging on to the relatively thin lead they have in the division right now. So Colts, I already have a bet on them to miss the playoffs at a pretty big price, and I'm going to add to that by taking them to finish third in the AFC South at 6-1.
All right. Great stuff there. Great prices. Also, I just did a quick peek at the Rams third to finish third exacta on FanDuel. It's 15-1. I think you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So that's a pretty crazy price. I got to let you out here in just a sec, but
sure.
You wanted to talk quick award market. So I'll let you pick between most improved player for the NBA and sixth man of the year.
Ooh.
And you have to sell me on one person. So 2 minutes to get you out of here. Sell me on one award. Tell me who you like and why.
Okay. This is going to be price-based.
Okay.
The most improved player is going to be Austin Reeves of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
Austin Reeves EPM right now, offensively, top 10 in the NBA. Not top 10 in the Pacific Division, not top 10 in the West, top 10 in the entire association. I think the leap has been made, and he will be a first-time All-Star. Most improved player tends to go to the first-time All-Star, and the guys at the top of this market right now, your Jalen Durans, your Josh Giddey's, they have made meaningful leaps, but the idea that they're going to continue to perform at the level that gets them All-Star consideration, I throw a challenge flag. I could see Duran in a weak East getting a kind of a supplemental look, but I ultimately don't think these guys are doing enough to warrant All-Star consideration. Meanwhile, Austin Reeves has taken the leap from 20 points a game to 28 points per game, and he is on an offense that features Luka Doncic, so the opportunities are going to continue to be relatively favorable for him the rest of the way. I like the two-man game between Doncic and Reeves a lot as well, and I think there's concern that as LeBron gets reintegrated more into the offense that he could use a little bit of his usage, but Ayton goes down. They're missing bigs. They're going to have to do it by scoring 130 points a game if they're going to continue winning at the pace they've started so far this season. And I think we're going to wake up one day and that 40-1 is going to be like 4-1. Ultimately, does it win? Tough to say. But I think Reeves is going to flirt with 30 points a game this season with the offense that he's in right now.
All right, decision's in. I'm going to take that. Thank you for convincing me.
Big price.
Yeah, 35-1 at FanDuel. If you shop around, you can get 40-1. Drew, appreciate you joining the show. Hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving. We'll chat
All right, best luck, guys.
Thanks. See ya. Great stuff there from Drew. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. I see you in the chat. I see that question in the chat. I can't. Who's that from? Cody 95, Rody 95. A little too far away from me to see. Anyways, asking about Jeremiah Love. We will get to that when Corbie comes on next year, because I feel like that's a pretty interesting question to go through. But yeah, it's asking. I have Jeremiah Love at 35-1. Should I take some Mendoza to secure profit? We'll talk about that when we get Corbie on up here. Before we bring on Corbie, though, quickly, just want to give a shout out to our friends and our sponsor over at FanDuel. This Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. And no, we're not talking about turkey legs. Here's how it works. Start a group build, add your pick, then pass it to your friends so they can add theirs. When everyone's done, each lock in the group parlay with your own funds, because football is better when it's played and bet together. And to make it even better, everyone gets a 50% profit boost to use on their build. So grab your crew, start your build, and get in on the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. Visit FanDuel.com/forward progress to get started. FanDuel, play your game. 21 plus and present in select states for Kansas and affiliates with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/Cheyenne, Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelp.ma.org or call 1-800-3750-50 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. All right. Let's bring him up. He is a college basketball bettor, a college football savant, and hopefully he's going to have a nice little weekend there for Thanksgiving. Corbie, how's it going, my friend? Oh, no, he's 2 for 2 weeks in a row with the mute. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's see if Corbie can get that figured out. He's in his car right now. He's pulled over. Don't worry about it. I can see that he's stopped at the side of the road. He just showed me the side of the road, so he's good. We'll let him figure out if his mute situation there. Referring back to the chat there, though, Rudy95. Apologies, I got your name wrong. Rudy95 asking about Jeremiah Love taking it at 35-1. Good stuff, because I believe I came on the show and told Kirk Evans that Jeremiah Love at 35-1 or 40-1 is what he had, is dead. It's dead. Well, it turns out it's alive. I actually don't think it's alive, even though the price has moved a crazy amount. Got a little echo here. Is that?
That's Corbie.
That's Corbie. All right. Okay. Corbie's back. Let's get Corbie. If you have headphones, pop those in there in just a sec. And then, I just want to talk about this Heisman race, because I don't know if it's a sure thing that Fernando Mendoza is the guy. I know he's priced like that right now, but unless you think Ohio State is going to lose against Michigan, they're 5.5-point favorites in the Big Ten Conference Championship game right now, hypothetically, if that game were to happen. But it seems like it's going to happen. Like, they're favored over Indiana, they're favorites over Michigan. I just don't see how a team that wins out and a quarterback who's playing pretty well with some good numbers is just not going to win the Heisman. Yeah, Sayan's not putting up some crazy numbers. Yeah, Mendoza's numbers look better, but if Sayan wins that game, unless he plays atrocious, I think he wins the Heisman. So I'm on Mr. Peanut Better side. I still like that plus 400. Is Corbie good to go? Yeah? All right, let's bring him on. Corbie, what are your thoughts on my quick little analysis there of the Heisman race? Any opinion on what this chatter is asking, if he should? I don't know if betting Fernando Mendoza is a great way to hedge off of it. So a little bit tougher there. But yeah, thoughts on Jeremiah Love versus Sayan versus Mendoza. And I mean, I guess we'll throw Diego Pavia in the mix, even though I think he has next to no shot of winning.
Yeah, I would say in the most general terms, don't take a bad bet when you have a good bet. You took 35-1. Be happy you have 35-1.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, Jason, it was not here to toot our own horns, but we've kind of just gotten stuck into this idea of talking about the Heisman talk. Also, apologize in advance for the ghetto setup, but I would say that we've kind of GRP'd this Heisman market. We talked about Sayan when he was 5.5-1 said basically anything over 3.5-1. Mendoza or Sayan feels fine. Last week while you were reading a flaming hot ship, we were like, the hot take is Jeremiah Love 35-1, and a week later it's 350 I think I saw. So pretty happy with where we sit now. If I had a Jeremiah Love ticket, I do, and I have no intentions on hedging out. I would say just be happy you have a good ticket, and be sad when Mendoza wins, because I will be too. I have no Mendoza. I have everybody else. If I could bet no Diego Pavia, I would take whatever price anybody wants to give me. Diego Pavia is not winning the Heisman.
Yeah, I saw that number. I'm like, what's the deal here? Like, are the Heisman voters all of a sudden gooners, and then we just love Diego Pavia's mom? Like, I actually don't get it. Like, it makes no sense.
It's the same idea as Haynes King. I was the biggest Haynes King guy you'd find. I think this guy's rocks. Is he the Heisman? Hell no. So it was a fun award. Just be happy you have 35-1. I mean, Jeremiah Love has a very real way to win this Heisman. I wouldn't say like this isn't one of those things where you got a good price and like you're just gonna lose. Like I think you're still firmly in the race here.
Yeah, I think so too. But I just don't think it should be like the separation between Mendoza and Sane should be this far apart. But it seems like the sentiment is like teams don't want to reward Sane. I don't know. Whatever happens in these next two games, whatever's gonna be freshest in these teams' minds is what's gonna sort of
If it was me, Jason, and I was like, let's say I'm in this guy's spot and he wants to buy more Heisman tickets for some reason, I would be buying Julian Sane. I mean, he just played a week without his two best receivers, and then he's going to get crushed in odds. Like, I still think he's second, but I don't think. I think this should be 210 Mendoza, 290 Sane. Like, I don't think that the differential is really that much.
Yeah, it's just way too big right now. Minus 125, 2 games left for Fernando Mendoza. Well, they also play each other, anyways. Like that's like we assume they're going to play each other. Who knows? There might be chaos. And actually, that's the game. You sent me a couple games you want to talk about. We'll get to them first. But I feel like since we're talking Heisman, there's no other game to start with than Ohio State and Michigan. Just talk me through this. Do you think Michigan's able to keep this streak alive? We don't know the status on Tate. We don't know the status on Jeremiah Smith. We're assuming that they're both going to play. At least I am, at the very least. Maybe seems like the number might be as well. Any opinion on this game here?
Yeah, if I was a gambling man, I would say that they play. So wouldn't put too much weight into that. Yeah. And there's people that are saying they're soft and they're doing injury management in college now that they didn't play last week, and I don't think it really matters. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, this is always one of those games where, I mean, you could price up home field advantage more. You could just say like Michigan has whatever. I think this is an incredible Ohio State team, though. Like, these rivalries are going to give numbers that like look weird on paper. I don't think this is one of them. I think Ohio State is just significantly better than Michigan. So, no, it would be the favorite for me. There are some rivalries that I think are going to get a little messy, but I don't think this is one. I think Ohio State slow, steady, wins the race, and they show why they have been number one on my rating literally since day one. I think preseason preview, the bet I gave on this show preseason was Ohio State the number one overall seed at 450. So like nothing has changed. I'm not running away right now.
Yeah, I think I've been banging that drum the entire year alongside you. It wasn't the sexy pick. It wasn't the one that everyone wanted to hear, but it's just the one that makes the most sense to me. And it's just clear that Ohio State is the best team on paper and on the field as well. Although I've heard Brad Powers talk a little bit about maybe Notre Dame flipping them, but I don't see it.
Brad also said like week 3 that Notre Dame wasn't good. Like,
he's just coming back.
His opinions switch really fast, and our opinions stay very strong and sturdy. I don't know if I've changed my opinion since 2008. I think when Troy Smith was at Ohio State, I still thought they were the best. So I'm locking in, Jason. I'm stuck in my ways. Ohio State's won here.
All right, we're both stubborn in that sense. I love it. Also, again, one last thing on the Heisman. They have a market for Indiana against Ohio State for the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State is minus 5.5, minus 120. Ohio State at Michigan. Ohio State's minus 10.5, minus 104. If you just add those numbers together in a parlay, that's plus 258. If you're telling me if the quarterback doesn't cover the spread in both these games that he's going to lose the Heisman, like how does this make any sense? That's like plus 250. So yeah, plus 400. I love the Heisman bet. Anyways, let's talk some more rivalry games here. You wanted to start with let's start with the Iron Bowl. Alabama at Auburn. What do you like in that game?
Yeah, I'm driving through the state right now, Jason, so I had to bring it up. And this is the most fun game for me, at least, because it's what my entire childhood has been. And there's a common theme, and every Alabama fan knows it. When you play in Auburn, like, you're going to run into some trouble, and you're going to run into a lot of trouble. I don't know how this is possible. Coordinators change, players change, all these things change, but Alabama cannot stop a running quarterback. They've never been able to since I was 0 years old. And they're about to run into an issue, which is Deuce McKnight just got his first start. I saw this number pop up 5.5, and it made me laugh. Text all of my Alabama friends, and I was like, man, this just does not feel good for the Tide. I've talked to you all year. Like, I don't think this team is that good. I think that the quarterback's kind of a fluke. And Auburn is awful. Why is this number 5.5? I made it 8.5, and it's one of those things where, like, the market opened up 5.5, and if I'm an Alabama fan, I am terrified. I think this is upset loss kick you out of the college football playoff written all over it. Auburn is not good. That 5.5 was creepy to me. So lean towards the Tigers, even though my numbers say don't. I've been able to witness this Iron Bowl enough to know that this is not going to play out how a market thinks it is.
Yeah, and Alabama kind of limped in their loss against Oklahoma 2 weeks ago. Didn't really get much from, they're playing an FCS team in Eastern Illinois last week, so you can't take away too much from there. But like the limping in the game against Oklahoma was like a little bit worrisome for me. So yeah, number was shocking, but I love how we're going for up. It's rivalry week, so we're gonna see some upsets. You like Auburn 5.5 plus 184 on the money line at FanDuel.
I'd be fine with that money line. 184 is not a bad price.
Okay.
The Tide gets shocked, Jason. Then they'll go to the Birmingham Bowl. They'll play West Virginia. They won't play West Virginia, and they'll be real upset. Then DeBoer to Penn State, and then look at that. Everything happens for a reason.
All right, full circle moment. Again, I'm going to go off the board here and talk Egg Bowl because you're talking about DeBoer maybe leaving. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. This is kind of, I know this is going to be crazy to say, but I think this might be win and in for Ole Miss because if they lose, I think they have a chance of missing the playoffs. And where they miss the playoffs here is if Lane Kiffin ends up leaving. What are your thoughts, number one, on that scenario where if they lose or maybe if they win and Lane Kiffin leads, they'll be left out of the playoff picture? And then do you like anything for the Egg Bowl?
No, I think if they win and he leaves, they're still in.
Okay.
It would be really hard to take them out after that. That said, man, it's going to be a tough day to be a Lane Kiffin supporter and fan. Like, I like Lane Kiffin. I think I might be in the bandwagon of small people that do. But I mean, if you go from Tennessee to Alabama to Ole Miss to in conference rivalry, just poke every single rivalry. I might have to jump off the ship. So everything looks bad. I mean, we see why would you not just announce you're coming back? All of these things, but I have no opinion. I have really no clue. I wish I did. I would be betting the exchanges instead of being on this podcast. But I have no clue, and I'm just rooting that he stays to Ole Miss. I make the number 11.5. I think I saw it was 7. So I bet Ole Miss early in the week, but it's never fun to bet into a game that your number's off on week 14, and there's a whole bunch of speculation in the air. So it just feels like not a good spot.
Yeah. All right. You also forgot to mention USC, which is there we go. Cash the over half mention on USC there for the show.
You got it in.
We
didn't want to talk about the game. No. Which they did look okay.
Yeah.
But,
well, you said no recap of last week. We're looking ahead to next week. So, listen, the season came down to that Illinois game, which sucked, but it is what it is. And then also just giving up 2 return touchdowns in your losses, in your 2 biggest losses, is just you're never going to win like that. So the second that happened in the Oregon game, I was like, yeah, this is most likely over. You wanted to talk Air Force and Colorado State. There's some suspensions for this Colorado State game. So talk us through this, and if you like a certain side here.
Yeah, Colorado State starting quarterback was out with an undisclosed injury last week, so they brought in the backup, and he just pulled the most respectful move you can pull while down 40, spit in a lineman's face after he threw an interception. So the refs actually didn't see it, and the Mountain West ended up suspending him last game. So really big circle. If you're trying to bet sports, trying to bet college football, who is the quarterback of Colorado State this week? Because here's the issue. It's either the guy who was hurt last week, Jackson Brousseau, I believe is how you said that last name, which wouldn't be the worst. He's not good, but he's definitely not awful. Or the third string quarterback, Jason, who, let me tell you, he might as well just be a wide receiver. He can't do anything. So this line kind of assumes that it's the starting quarterback, but if there's any noise that it is not him, which he did practice this week, but he was hurt. He was very obviously not practicing very well. If it's a third string quarterback, this number has not adjusted enough. Air Force is awful, but the third string quarterback can't throw a football. So worth noting, I obviously won't be on the show when it comes out. So if you can find the Colorado State starting quarterback situation, you could have yourself a little bit of an edge in college football this late into the year, which is we'll take it however we can get it.
Yeah, so plus 12.5, or sorry, plus 12, plus 2.5 right now on Colorado State, plus 110 at home. So yeah, just hold off on that for a bit. Wait for that news. Wait for that reaction to come out. Maybe set up some Twitter notifications if you want to stay ahead of things. Next, let's go to Texas Tech. Texas Tech at West Virginia. You wanted to talk about this game, Texas Tech minus 23.5 favorites on the road here. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, I don't come on this show often and just say like I've got to play, but I played Texas Tech 23.5. I like it. I think this is one of those ones where like you can watch. I mean, like if someone was to just watch a whole bunch of football, I think genuinely like if you like dial in on a team, you can have like a strong opinion on it. And for some reason, this year has been West Virginia. I've watched every West Virginia game. I have no clue why. It wasn't on purpose. I don't like this team. And it's pretty obvious that like they had quarterback issues the whole start of the year. They found their starting quarterback, so they started to go on the same incline of like, okay, like they're decent. The market started to respect them. They almost win as an 11-point dog last week to Arizona State, who started Jeff Sims at quarterback. They got really lucky in that game, and now they have to run into Texas Tech. So it's just like this idea of the market is starting to be like, oh, well, now they're a good team. They found their quarterback. They're starting to get to efficiency. And I do not think that's the case. So Texas Tech 23.5. If you've watched Texas Tech, they are happy with running up the score on anybody. So 23.5, really good bet there. I played it, I believe, yesterday morning.
All right, yeah, still 23.5 is still available, minus 115 at FanDuel. Shop around. I believe there are some slightly better prices out there. I got to let you out. I'm going a little long here, but I hope Kirk is okay with that. I just want to quickly ask, you had something from college basketball that you wanted to talk about and you wanted to share. If you have, just let's give you like a minute to 2 minutes here, 60 seconds. What you got for it?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody in this chat is betting college basketball, but this is by far the most annoying year I have ever seen in the college basketball marketplace, in the sense of I think there's people just waking up at 4 a.m. and spamming bets. Like, I know last night, example, I woke up to wanting to bet Wake Forest, and it moved from 152.5 to I think it was 160 the last time I looked. 8 points, and I was like, oh, maybe I just woke up a little late. No, it moved at 4 a.m, 8 points. So annoying there. Another one that happened, and I think that the people watching this could take advantage, is the Iowa State Creighton game moved 9.5 to 5.5 this morning. That is on news that Tamin Lipsey is going to be out. That is, he's a game time decision, but he's going to be out. The market has already adjusted. It's news that you haven't seen, but everybody else knows. The good thing for you is these same people don't really have the ability or care to bet college basketball player props. So Lipsey's out, which means every Iowa State player is going to get more looks. Lipsey is the entire offense. So Josh Jefferson, any Iowa State players points over, probably good at current. They haven't been adjusted at all to him being out. The market has in main market, but his player props have not. So I can't bet player props. I don't really know anybody who is trying to get down on this. Feel free. The total is already, or the side has already moved 4 points. So it is not good on a main market, but on player props, Iowa State game, there is some value there. Yeah.
Joshua Jefferson, ISU is 17.5. His over is minus 114 at FanDuel. Milan Momcilovic. Jeez.
That's why I went with Josh Jefferson. I didn't.
Over 17.5 plus 100. Yeah, you can get those over at FanDuel. Taking a decent amount. Like they're taking like to win just over 1,000. So I mean, hey, that's like some pretty decent numbers here.
That Josh Jefferson price is good too. It looks like I make it like 19.9.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Sweet stuff. Corbie, appreciate you joining the show. Enjoy the holidays with your family. Hope all is well. We'll chat next week.
All right, boys. See you.
All right. See ya. Great stuff there from Corbie. Electric. Sad that I couldn't have him on yesterday. Happy we got him on today. Always electric stuff coming from Corbie. I just can't get over that Heisman conversation. Anyway, sorry. Kirk has been waiting patiently for me. I texted him. I apologized. And I duped him. I told him I would wear the same color, the same beige, or a little slightly darker beige this last week, but he fell for the bait. We're not matching this week. Anyways, he's an NBA bettor. You've seen him on Circles Off. You saw him yesterday on Circle Back, live on Circles Off after he duped Rob. Let's bring him up. Kirk, how's it going? Do you feel like cancel culture has gone too far? Or not cancel culture.
Cancel culture.
Gotcha culture has gone too far.
Cancel culture. Are we turning this into a political podcast?
No. Gotcha culture, because you got Rob. It was a gotcha moment.
Like definitely not in that particular instance. It was
deserved.
That's not gotcha. That's just funny. And obviously, I think Rob agreed that it was a great.
It was a good bit.
It was a great get.
Yeah.
When Jeff messaged me that, I was dying of laughter. and if you watch the pod and look at me, I'm just like giddy the whole time waiting for this, because I knew what was happening, but I didn't know exactly. I wasn't really part of the plans. I just knew it was going to happen. So
it didn't go to plan, man.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Jeff was supposed to cue me in at some point for it, and then he just never did. So I kept on. Rob kept turning it over to him. Okay, now he's going to talk about it, and then he just never did. He waited for me.
Jeff was a little nervous introducing it, I think.
I think so, maybe.
I think maybe because I buttered him up too much, telling me, look at it. That's what I was saying. I was saying he was dressed up really nice because it's like he was dressed up for the gotcha moment.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, it was a great moment.
Yeah,
honestly.
It was a good moment. I was just looking at my text with Jeff. He sent me the picture. And he just sent me like the emoji. Going to use this next week. So
he sent me something very similar.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Jeff's a character. Jeff is a character. All right, what do you want to talk about today? You want to kind of roll through the 3 games on tonight's slate. I don't know if you listened to the show earlier in the hour. Drew came on, kind of talked about most improved player. I know you have a lot of Josh Giddey tickets.
Yeah.
Do you any? I don't know if you listened to his.
Yeah, I listened. I heard he said
Reeves.
Like you would definitely expect Reeves' stats to come down some with LeBron back. But I actually didn't realize how ridiculous Reeves' stats were. When he said it originally, I kind of thought it was a no-hoper. But, yeah, 40-1, it seems fine. I'm definitely cheering against him. I have Duren. I have Giddey. I think Duren has a pretty good chance of just walking into this award. Like, the guys – Drew was saying he, like, maybe could be an all-star in the East. Like, Duren could be an all-NBA player. The guy's being completely insane. He's averaging 20 and 12. He's taken a massive leap on D. They're like one of the best defenses in the league. So, yeah, I disagree with him there. I think Duren, like I'm totally bought in on Duren and on Detroit. But, yeah, 20-27, Reeves is going to easily be an all-star. LeBron's going to rest a lot. Reeves definitely has accumulated a ton of stats with Luka out, but Luka's going to miss some time. So, yeah, 40-1, I haven't thought about it that much. It seemed reasonable, though.
Yeah. It's also funny because you came on talking about a 40-1 last week that you had. I told you that it was dead. It is certainly alive. Jeremiah Love, plus 550 right now to win the Heisman.
I also have Pavia, or whatever his name is, who you're also saying is dead.
No, but he actually just doesn't have the numbers.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They're 9-2. You're telling me a 9-2 Vanderbilt team is gonna like they're
All right. How about this? Bet me at the original number I got. I got like 17-1.
No, what? We'll find it in between. Wait. We'll find it in between.
Well, you're saying he's dead.
Yeah, he is dead.
Well, then why wouldn't you want 17-1?
Because that's just not fair. Well, I want market price.
Yeah, well, like it's pretty hard to get Heisman. No, I guess you could bet it on Kalshi or Pauly or whatever.
Yeah. So, all right, maybe we'll like meet in the middle at like a 6-1 or 7-1.
Well, he's like he's 7.5 on FanDuel right now, so that's not meeting in the middle.
All right. Let's talk. We'll
let's talk about basketball.
Let's talk about basketball. Let's talk about tonight's games. Hawks Wizards. Let's start with that game. Jacob came in here and said he thinks that the Wizards are the worst team, one of the worst teams.
They could be the worst.
Worst team ever. What are your thoughts on that? I didn't mean to throw you on the spot there. Sorry, Jacob, but I just think
I didn't make the bold proclamation. It is the worst team. I said they could be the worst team ever.
What do you think about the Wizards? How would you compare them to that Charlotte Bobcats team that won? What you said 7 games?
Yeah, 7-59.
So talk us through this Wizards Hawks game. Talk us through the Wizards season. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I doubt they'll be the worst team ever, but they are quite clearly the worst team in the NBA right now. It's a bit odd because they've gotten leaps from Keyshawn George and Alex Sarr. So you would think, like, if I heard that before the season, I would think, okay, they probably are like bad, but not absolutely horrible. But yeah, they're absolutely horrible. The rest of the roster is just so bad. CJ's really taking a step back. Bob Carrington's like the worst team or the worst player in the NBA right now. We're actually gonna be betting a Bob Carrington prop coming up shortly. But what's that reaction?
We're big Bob Carrington fans here on the show.
He's quite literally having one of the worst seasons in NBA history.
I don't know what he's done or hasn't done. I just know I had like just there's just some off-market props on him last year, and I bet him a bunch of times, and he just treated me well. Like, I don't know.
I like that. That's nice of you. I like that you like Bob Carrington, but he is horrible. So yeah, the team's horrible. I wrote in the newsletter this week that they need to fire their coach. It's just they've just been too bad for too long, and to be getting actual like somewhat decent contributions from a couple of young players and being this bad is really embarrassing. So look, I don't think the season's going as bad as like I'd way rather be the Wizards and have Sarr and Keyshawn George playing pretty well and be this bad than have CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton playing well and be like a bit better with none of the young guys playing well. So it's fine, but yeah, they won't be the worst team ever, but they're very bad.
All right. Lynn, you mentioned Bob Carrington props. You want to, because you said you had a couple of props tonight. You didn't tell me what they were, but I assume based off what you're saying, Carlton.
Yeah. So I actually have one prop, and I'm gonna give out two sides today. I know it's a little crazy. It's pretty late in the day to give out two sides, but one. So Joel and PG just got ruled out. So, I was going to bet a maxi under, but no, that's a cancel. Yeah. But Wizards, Atlanta, the prop I like is Bob Carrington under 7.5 points. It's minus 102 at our friends at FanDuel. So Keyshawn George is questionable. He's definitely been a really high usage guy for them, as I've said, but actually make them this totally fine. Pretty good with Keyshawn George out, and obviously very, very good with Keyshawn George in. He was at practice yesterday with an illness, so I think he's got a decent shot to play, maybe like 60, 70%. But Bub got a bunch of run last game, and the Bucks have really adjusted off that. But Koulibaly was just in early foul trouble, and Middleton didn't play. So assuming, Koulibaly doesn't get 3 fouls in the first quarter, Middleton's going to play. His minutes will actually like pretty clearly be down, even if Keyshawn George doesn't play. And I just have him for significantly less than 7.5 in the minutes I've got him for.
All right. Bob Carrington under 7.5 points. You said minus 102 is what I see here on FanDuel. You can go take that. Up next, Magic 76ers. Let's talk us through this game here. You wanted to go maxi, but of course, you said Embiid was ruled out.
I got fooled again that Joel was ruled out. Like somehow I get fooled every single game that I think he has a chance to play, and he's missed like 9 straight.
Okay.
It seemed like today was the day that he was actually going to go. He participated in shoot around. He was a full participant in practice yesterday, but. So our friends at FanDuel aren't giving us a great number on this one, but I would take Orlando -3 here.
Okay.
I bet them overnight a pretty good number, but that was with the expectation that Joel and Paul George were going to play. The line was 2.5 or 2 prior to that PG and Joel news. I think the market was definitely expecting both of them in, and I just can't really get to 2 or to 3 with PG and Joel out. Like, sure, Joel's being really hurt and he was going to be really limited. He's actually being pretty solid in the minutes he's played this year, and Philly's just so shallow and a pretty bad team at this point. So I make this 4.5, 5. No PG, no Joel. Orlando's being really good. No Paolo. They're back to, other than Paolo, full strength after having a few guys out last game. So yeah, I would take 3. I maybe would pass at 3.5. I know that's the number at FanDuel, but yeah, I like that -3.
What number would you need at the 3.5 here? Is like a -101 good, 105? You need plus
money? like -102, -103. I would take. Like normally a half point is worth like 7 cents.
Okay.
So I would try getting a good number. Like
yes,
it's a pretty liquid market, and I imagine like the people watching this aren't betting like completely insane amounts, so you probably could get a pretty good number here. But yeah, I definitely lean Orlando.
All right, leaning Orlando there at the -3. Shop around to find that. Let's go into the last game on the slate: Clippers and Lakers. You mentioned LeBron working his way back earlier in the show. And I guess you like a side in this game because you only gave out one side. You said you have two. So which side do you like and why?
Yeah, so FanDuel is giving us a good price here. Clippers plus 6.5.
Okay.
It feels gross to bet the Clippers, if I'm being honest. They've been really, really bad. But their main guys have been very, very good. Harden's been even better than last year. Kawhi, in the time he's played, has been very solid. They get Kawhi back. I just can't get the Lakers to be, 4.5 better on a neutral, especially this game's in LA and home. Obviously, it is still in the Lakers' home stadium, which is now no longer the Clippers' home stadium. But I do carry a little bit less home court when it's, Brooklyn playing the Knicks or the Clippers playing the Lakers. So this is just too big of a price with the Clippers having Kawhi back. I think it's a decent time to start buying some Clippers. I know they've been really bad. I know no one wants to bet on them, but I just can't quite get to this number. I'm closer to 4.5.
All right. Clippers 6.5 minus 110 at FanDuel. Good number. Market's like one of the better prices in market at legal shops if you're looking around there. This is the NBA Cup day. Any futures you're looking towards in terms of outcomes as a result, or as in terms of the results for tonight, or nothing you got for the NBA Cup futures?
I've got nothing for you there. I actually just haven't been that locked into the NBA Cup with it's just the NBA is a beast. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think I said Duran MVP of the NBA Cup.
Yes. Like 2 weeks ago, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah. He's still out there at 100-1. I think I said 250-1.
Yes.
100-1 still seems pretty reasonable to me. Detroit's in a pretty good spot, and Duran just remains an absolute monster.
Okay. All right. Then before you go, I know you're not American. You're obviously from Canada. Don't know if I was allowed to reveal that, but I guess people are aware of that because you're on Circle Back.
I think that's pretty
obvious, eh?
No,
you don't fly out every Monday for the show. Any side, total, or spread you like for the Thursday slate of NFL games, or even a prop if you want to share? Putting you on the spot here. You can go the Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens. Anytime touchdown scorer, any side, total, anything.
I've got no clue. I don't bet NFL. I bet some props early year.
Okay.
This is out of my wheelhouse. I'll probably be cheering a bit for the Ravens. Okay. Probably cheering for the Lions because I want my Packers take on the Parsons trade to look good. But yeah, I've got nothing for you here.
All right, sounds good. Are you going on vacation or something? I see like a little suitcase behind you.
No, I just moved in and I'm still
unpacking.
Putting everything in the right spot. No, I'm not going away anywhere. Right. Not mid NBA season.
All right. I'll let you get going and get back to unpacking, then get back to betting some NBA stuff. Kirk, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon.
Absolutely appreciate it.
Awesome stuff there from Kirk. Thank you for the chat as well. You guys are doing a great job asking questions along the way. Love it. TQ talking about Pavia's mom. If that's the reason he wins the Heisman, then we're setting a bad precedent, I would say. Not a good precedent to set in terms of Heisman Award voters. Maybe I can ask Austin about it. Maybe we get like a little bit of an edge there if we ask what he thinks about Diego Pavia's mom. Anyways, if you want to find out what his opinion is on that, or if I even do ask him, tune in Friday. Quick reminder before we head out, no Hammer Daily on Thursday. No Edgework today, but Edgework will be there tomorrow. Also today, we have our Tuesday Best Bets show. Bring up the schedule. There it is. If you want to fire on week 13, we've got our Tuesday Best Bets show, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Forward Progress YouTube channel. This week, it's a super show with G-Stack George, Rob, and Suma. They're all giving out their 3 best bets, breaking down every single game. Today, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. Also, see this big board. All of our shows scheduled and what's happening today. Tomorrow we have an interview coming out. It's actually pretty interesting on Circle Back.
It was a very good interview.
Yeah, you guys were going for like 2 hours. I was listening.
Yeah.
It sucks because I can only hear Rob's questions and I can't hear the answers.
So you
but
have to watch the interview.
I got to watch the interview. Yeah. So Circles Off interview on Wednesday. People have been clamoring for another Circles Off interview. We got one coming up. No show this Thursday for us here at the Hammer Daily. There will be a show on Friday. There will be a show on Wednesday. Quick reminder about the shows on Wednesday and Friday. Edgework Overtime will be there. And if we hit over 100 likes on both of those, Alex and So Money will be eating a spicy chip live on air alongside me. So, send it to your friends. Tell them to like the stream. Also, you know what? You might as well like this stream. You might as well subscribe to this channel. You might as well do that today just so you don't forget to do it tomorrow. Any other things to go through? Yes, Forward Progress. Live watch along Thursday night. Not in studio. Alex and George will be on. But I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. The Friday watch along of the Eagles-Bears game. My Bears, not really my Bears, but my Caleb, taking on the Eagles. A lot will hinge on Survivor for that. Hopefully I'm still in for that. And I can start rooting against all the people in Survivor. But yeah, should be a fun Thanksgiving week. That wraps up today's show. If you guys enjoyed, do us a favor. One more time, smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube, hit the like button. And if you often watch on Twitter, that's okay. Completely understand. But if you're not subscribed to YouTube, you might as well just come over, hit the subscribe button. Does nothing. It's free. Doesn't bother you. Doesn't send notifications to your email. You're not signing up for anything. It's just helps us. So if you like the show and you're watching on Twitter, help us out by coming over and subscribing. All right. I believe Pips, I'll check if he's coming on tomorrow. Someone in the chat is asking about Pips. I believe he might be coming on either tomorrow or Friday. No, it doesn't look like he's on for the rest of the week. Maybe I'll talk to Alex about maybe securing one more spot for Pips for you guys. Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been the Tuesday, November 25th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.